start by congratulating you on the brilliant success. How does it make you feel looking back now? I mean, it's every day it's been just.
Well, I feel super excited.
Okay.
I feel one of my dreams is coming true.
Okay.
I feel that the dream that I have in promoting Yoruba culture to the entire world is coming true gradually. So I'm excited about it.
Okay.
Yes.
How far back did you come up with the dream of promoting Yoruba?
Well, it's been a dream that I've had over 25 years ago.
Okay.
All right. So I was born in Lagos, bred buttered in Lagos, and most times when we even speak at home, we speak English language. You know, in school we speak English language. But my father is a Yoruba film producer, actor, and when we have opportunities of going to locations with them, they speak Yoruba on set. I begin to appreciate Yoruba language from there because it has lots of, moral values, a lot of proverbs. And when they speak proverbs in Yoruba language, I'm always very inquisitive to know the meaning of such proverbs. And when I ask, they tell me the meaning. I feel, oh, it's so sweet to know. You know, from there, I started falling in love with Yoruba language, and I developed the love for Yoruba films from there. You know, so when I had the opportunity of producing or lending my voice to the entire world, I think, oh, it's an opportunity, to showcase that beauty to the entire world. So I've conceived that, I've had that dream over 20 something years ago.
Okay. Let's talk about Jagun Jagun. At what point did you start work on that project?
Okay, so Jagun Jagun's idea is almost 2 years now.
Okay.
I conceived Jagun Jagun's idea before Agashikole King of Kings. And Agashikole was a test run for me, because it was a smaller scale than a Jagun Jagun. Jagun Jagun is a bigger scale, so I was scared of the risk, So I wanted to feel the pulse of the market, feel the pulse of the return on my investment with Agashikole. So I considered that idea since then. So when I saw that Agashikole, had a breakthrough, okay, so I started work fully a year ago from the script writing, script conferences on Jagun Jagun.
What did the Jagun take from you in terms of time, in terms of attention, in terms of putting everything you had into it?
Okay, so Jagun Jagun took a lot from me, but I don't see it as missing out anything because it's been what I wanted to do. So I gave it more time than I've ever given any of my production. I paid attention to details than I've ever paid to any of my production. I must be sincere with you. So I involved the script criticism was larger because after when we had the first draft, I gave the draft out to even the audience to feel the perspective from the audience side, from the point of view of the audience. Those are people that does not know anything about filmmaking. So when they give their contributions, I felt, okay, that's the way the ordinary audience would see it. I gave it to professors, I gave it to, scholars, I gave it to even people that only have the experience and not even lettered in the creative industry. We have them. So I did a very detailed work on the scripting. So it gave me something totally different from what I used to do.
Okay. In terms of ideas, when you decided, okay, I'm going to start work on my new project, what was the perspective? What was the idea? Or how did you get the direction you wanted to go?
Okay, so that would actually take me to what inspired Jagun Jagun.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so what inspired Jagun Jagun was basically the youth in Nigeria. All right. Okay, we've always been clamoring, okay, we have a bad government, we have a bad economy, the society, and I feel that we need to have lots to do. Okay, so I took my time to say that, okay, I want the youth to, stop allowing, themselves to be used as an instrument of destruction. To the extent that if we would need to protest, We can do peaceful protest and we'll pass our message across to the government. Okay, so but when the protest is going on and we have hoodlums attacks, they use the opportunity of stealing other people's properties and all that. And who are these people perpetrating that? Who are those people protesting? Who are those people stealing? They are all youths. Okay, so why are we facing each other? Why are we not speaking the same voice? So I picked up that social message and I intended to say it, in a cultural way and at the same time, showcasing the beauty of my culture to the world.
How easy also was it for you to put together, to bring it to reality, the cast and the crew?
It was very taxful. I must be very sincere with you. It was very taxful. Just like Yorubas will say, "And to bash what anyone she really, what anyone really." It was extremely challenging. All right. Okay. So the major challenges are balancing up the storyline. Balancing up the storyline. I don't want any audience to have a feel of what is going to happen next in that movie. I worked seriously on the suspense. You know, I also don't want. I wanted a flawless production. So I wanted the perfect cast. And when it comes to cast, because it's going to cost me a lot to tie down. I mean, a particular cast for about 3 months. And I needed to tie them down for about 3 months, especially Latif Adedimeji. So I had to call him and I said, I have a project and it will take you 3 months. And he's like, Egbon, and I said, okay, 2 months, I mean, like a month and a half is going to be for the personal training. You have to hit the gym, you need to be physically fit, and the remaining will be training on set for the fight choreography, then about 40 days for shoot. And it was like, hey, and that has been my major hindrance. But sincerely speaking, we crossed the hurdle, and we also had the challenge of location. Okay, so when we went for a recce, and I found that particular place that I have picture, Ogundiji's house, the mountain, the everything, and so we set out to buy it. It was sold to us. After a few months, we started construction. They came back. They are not selling anymore. The children of the woman that owned the place came from Lagos, and we were kicked out after we've done the construction about 50%. There was a lot of begging. We set PlayStations, blah blah. I said, okay, at the point, okay, we were ready to forgo how much we paid for it to be sold to us. Okay, just lease to us. Let's finish this production. Okay, we finished that. Okay, so we're like 95% constructing the school. Then we had a very, very heavy rainfall that destroyed everything we built. The art director, Tunde Afolayan, was like, "What?" The weather forecast was friendly, so we were like, "What happened?" Sometimes you could not. The weather forecast might be wrong. So we started all over again. And there was a lot of challenge, but another major challenge on the set was Latif broke his leg on the first day of shoot. And it was terrible for him. He cried.
Were you scared?
Well, I was very scared, but I was adamant on making sure he played the role. So we used the body double. We patched it, slowed down the pace of the shoot, but I didn't mind. Because I was like, this guy has prepared really for this job. He's been to the gym for about a month and a half, done fight choreographies. No, I'm not going to let it go like that. So we did it.
What did you use for the venue of the shoot?
We shot in Oyo town.
Okay.
One village in Oyo town. All was shot in Oyo town. Yeah.
And total funding, because you could also see that costumes, everything, and all that. I mean, how did you sustain that?
Well, funding the project was a little bit challenging. Okay, so I got my major fund from the proceeds of Ageshikode. All right, so at a point, because I'm a very spontaneous producer. When I get to set and I see something like I feel is going to bring out more creativity, I go for it, regardless of the cost. So I was forced to sell my car and property to finish Jagun production. You know, I was desperate to get it right. You know, because I didn't want to go to any bank. Yeah, and we did it. And thank God it's a success story.
Yeah. How expensive was the production?
Well, it's obvious that it's a multi-millionaire project, you know, but I can't be precise the exact amount, but obviously it's a multi-millionaire project.
I saw the comments you made on all the major characters in the movie. How did you take each person's response and support that you got from all of them?
So my comments and compliments about each character was exactly the way I felt about them. It was exactly the way I felt about them. Most of them, in fact, all of them, even the crew, were extremely passionate about the project. You know, so it gave me that kind of feel that acceptable by all of them. You know, quite a number of producers might have been having so many issues with their cast or crew. My case is totally different. You know, and most of them tell me, no, you know, you're a brother, you're a friend, you're a this, you know. So that they were all so passionate about the project. And that gave me that I need to acknowledge every one of them, you know. So that was what provoked the idea of me, you know, complimenting all of them like you saw on my page.
Okay. Let's talk about your dad's involvement in it. How did it make you feel?
Well, you know, in Yoruba land, there's this saying that tó bá ní eégún lẹ́yìn, you know, wà kò sí o lè gbá anybody. Okay, tí bá rí yàn kan lẹ́yìn mi, mo lè gbé eégún létí. It's because of the confidence you have that if anything goes wrong, that man is there. So it gives me that confidence, especially when it comes to the creativity part of it. It's been there. You cannot, you know, rule out the experience is got more than us, you know. So especially talking in terms of an epic story. So Daddy as a backbone is always there, and he is extremely supportive. He's over 70 years old, and you know, we start shoot sometimes like 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. and we wrap like 1 a.m. and it's there. You know, unshakable man. So it's been extremely supportive. I see it as my major backbone.
Okay. Let's talk about your career. It's on total. It's been like how many years now? I know you were born into it anyway.
Okay, plus or minus of like 33 years. 32 years, because my first major film that I can remember I acted was 1985. 1985.
And how's it been? It keeps getting better.
Of course, we could only get better. We can only get better. And of course, I was in and out. Went to school, came back. You know, went to school, came back. But my first lead character was 95. Oh, Blue by Tade, you know. And even looking at that is about 22 years ago. You know, so it's been an awesome journey.
And then, how do you also feel coming from a family of movie family? Let me put it that way.
Well, we're fast becoming a house. Adebayo's name is fast becoming a household name in the industry, and we, of course, anybody will be excited about that. You know, seeing your family being, you know, recognized in this creative industry. So I feel I want to protect that in any way I can, and I'll be so excited if any of my children want to take, you know, that position as well.
Of course, people know that Netflix movies are very standard movies and very detailed and all that. So, like, how much does it take to do a standard production for at that level?
Well, when you talk about the finance of a project, is most of the time determined by the storyline. The story determines the budget. All right. Okay. So to produce an epic film is extremely expensive. All right. So I want to get out of the office and go create what is not in use anymore. So that means you will create. If it is the normal and the usual office, I can beg, Sheyeke, please, can I use the office for a shoot? So it's going to save me the cost of constructing an office. But for an epic film, it's totally different. You have to build and construct almost everything you use. You understand? So it's more expensive. So budgets are determined by storylines, and to have a big scale of that kind of a Jagun production, of course, you can usually start to imagine what went into it. But I can proudly say that Jagun is the first Netflix original that do not have a foreign crew. They do not have any foreign crew. It was shot, edited, acted purely by Nigerians. Yeah.
So what next after this?
Oops. That's a major challenge.
So that are just saying that we should have two now, part two.
So that has been my nightmare, honestly. So when I did Ageshipele, so many people said, I'm sure there's nothing you can do that can beat Ageshipele. But I knew there was something I was going to do to beat Ageshipele because I conceived the idea before Ageshipele.
Okay.
Yeah, so I knew there was something that would beat Ageshipele. I knew what is required of me to ensure it beats Ageshipele. But I can tell you for free that I don't know what will beat JAGUNJAGUN. But I know that I will beat JAGUNJAGUN. My next production will beat JAGUNJAGUN. It's extremely taxing, challenging for me. And but I believe with God, I'll beat JAGUNJAGUN. All right. Then as regards whether it's going to have a sequel, well, fingers crossed. I don't know. I don't know. Let's wait till then. Yeah.
Then another comment many people made is that, it's so phenomenal in a different, that never really believe you could act that out, and the way you went about it. What did that take from you? Because of course you spoke about what others had to do to play their roles. What did you do to get into that character?
Well, yes, I've had that a lot. Many people like, you acted the role? That's totally different from who you are, Well, an actor can only prove to the entire world how versatile he or she is. I like to be challenged by the roles I play. I'm a versatile actor, and I want everybody to know that there's no role I cannot play. It takes me time to get into the role. All I need to do is to analyze the character. Ogunjije is a man with zero emotions, very wicked, and I remember, and of course, very powerful, has a lot of charms, And I remember there's one man back in a village like that. They say the man is very powerful, so many charms, and the man does his head like that.
Yes, I saw.
And I was fortunate to ask one of the son of the man that, why is your dad always doing this? And he said, Baguni. In Yoruba land, that means too much of, charms. The demons in him are, haunting him. So he's not normal. So most times when he does that, he doesn't even know he does it. So I picked that from him. And the voice of Femi Adebayo, normally, so I say, it's a sexy voice, it's a unique voice, it's a shaky voice. So I thought, okay, Ogunjiji cannot have that kind of a voice, So I remember, okay, there's one man that whenever I hear him speak, I was like, so I picked up that voice. And that's why I changed my voice to, that kind of way. So I matched those two, things together with the acting ability that I have, with the look and help of the makeup by Kim effect, and we're able to pull it.